Well, hey guys, hope you guys are having a good week. I'm down here in sunny Florida, and you can hate me, but man, it is so nice down here right now. I'm sorry if it's cold up in New York. I heard it was a little warmer this week, but we're just so blessed to be able to be down here. And while I was here, I got a chance to come this morning as I was just working on the message for next week. I got a chance to come down to the beach and just take a minute to soak in just the beauty of God's creation. And when I look out at the waters here right behind me at the beach, and I think about what God has for me in my life and what he has for us, it's just so incredible to think that we have a God that wants to lead us to the promised land, that made a way for us to the promised land. Now, I know that when we talk about the promised land, we look at the book of Genesis and we look at the covenant that God established with Abraham in chapter 15. And so we're going to take a look next week at this covenant and what this covenant is that God establishes, that he is going to lead his people into the promised land. And we're going to tie that right back into the New Testament, because the old covenant really serves as the standard that we couldn't live up to because we are sinners and broken. And so we're going to look at the old covenant and the plan that God had for us to make it to the promised land. But all the more, we're going to look at the new covenant and how Jesus comes in and establishes a covenant with us, with all men, in such a way that it opens a door for us to enter into the promised land. And so we're going to look at that. What is the promised land that God has for us? And we're going to look at maybe some of the things that may be holding us back from experiencing the promised land that God has so desired for us. And we're going to look at some of those things next week. Take a look at the questions for next week, please, before next Tuesday. Again, just thank you so much for being a part of our leadership team at CP Young Adults. And I'm continuing to pray that we would continue to build a community that would just point people towards Jesus. He is so good and so loving, and he's made a way for the promised land for all of us if we would only be willing to surrender and to enter into the covenant that he has for us. And so take a look. And next week, we're going to look at this covenant as we continue in Genesis. We're going to look at Abraham and how God desired for his people to make it to the promised land. We're also going to look at maybe some of the things that hold us back. So take a look at the notes, the questions. If you have any concerns, any questions, anything at all, shoot me an email, send me a text, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday. And sorry, I'm going to go enjoy the beach now. See you guys.